Good morning, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Market opens up here in about 5 minutes. Pretty sure I'll be watching ticker symbol MRNA out of the opening gauge for those of you not very familiar with my setup here. And we'll see what happens. That's always subject to change. These are live videos, meaning that this is not a voiceover. This is not some sort of post commentary. You will be getting my raw thoughts, my raw feelings as things play out live right before my very eyes. Sometimes that means we'll be watching levels that never come into play. Case in point here, watching mRNA, and I'll just show you so you can have kind of a little documentation of my thoughts. But made this alert in the private community. If you're not familiar, I do offer a community. But point here being that I have alerted, well, that wasn't the most straight up line. There we go. 68.15 as a flush point. Flush point meaning looking for the price to go down. And yes, for those of you that are new, you can make money when prices go down. That is known as going short, shorting a stock. So we'll see if 68.15 comes into play. But again, it might not. But I'll go ahead and pause, and I'll see you back at the open. Market opens up here in less than a minute. Change of plan. Had a member alert GRWG as it going crazy, and it is definitely going crazy. In fact, let me bring up the pre-market chart. So you can see right there, all of a sudden this volume bar has just surged right in. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one out of the opening gates, and we'll see what it wants to do. No idea if I'll make a trade on it, but yeah, it definitely seems to be relatively promising with that surge of volume. So we'll see what happens. Market opens up now in about 30 seconds. All right, I switched back over here to mRNA. I like how it's got the gap down, and now it's bouncing. 68.15 was that key level as you saw, and believe it or not, you just can't make this stuff up. Look right where it bounced from. 68.15. So that was the key flush point as you saw. Did not break down through there. So the power of charts. Gonna get that alerted now as a potential dead cat. So some good stuff there. Absolutely. Now in hindsight, I should have just bought it like 68.20, but I was definitely more bearish minded. But let's see what this thing. It's relatively choppy right now. That's the problem. Not a whole lot of volume. So this is one of these where you can get chopped to pieces relatively quickly on it. Just the volume's too weak right now. Not enough volume for me to be totally sold on it. What's JD doing? Oh, JD, that's quite an impressive movement. I mean, you can't go long right now. That would be totally cheap. But I'm curious on a potential short. Maybe build a short-sided position here. But as of now, wow, Coles is just getting destroyed. Once again, how did did that one ever do anything? Kind of. Right now, I am, I don't want to say I'm struggling. It's only been 2 minutes in, but I feel like I haven't quite picked the right ones to watch. And the thing is, KSS was on the watch list too. What about 69? Is that going to be, it's just so choppy. 69, yeah, I just need to stay away from it. Volume is just not where I want it to be. How's Boeing doing? Boeing, yeah, volume. SE booming. Oh, wow. That definitely needs an alert right there. Quite the movement right there. We'll see if it wants to make its way back up. All right, well, I will go ahead and pause and kind of just took you a walk around the markets here to open things up. And as of right now, not really seeing anything that I can work with, but that can always change. Watching OSTK here for a potential breakdown through 112. Only going to do 100 shares because this is a very, very volatile one. Would like to see this bounce up over 113. There we go. And then come back down. But like I said, very volatile stock. So in there at 112.06. Thinking ideally that it wants to drop back below 112. It is bouncing back up now, but big spread on this one. Exactly why I only did 100 shares. So if it actually comes back down to 112, I'm going to add to the position another 100 shares. But if it keeps moving up here, I'll have to bow out of the position. Like I said, if it does want to roll back over, I'm going to add in another 100, or try to at least at 112. But as of right now, if it goes up over 115, I'll have to be out with about a $300-ish loss. Yeah, 115 needs to be the stop loss area. I mean, if it could fail here and go back to 112, that'd be great. But as of right now, not looking so good. Let's see if it can get pushed back down here. All right, all out there, $340 loss. That's a shame. Well, I'm glad I managed my risk via position sizing. Had I gone, 500 shares, that would have been that's a $1,500 loss right there. But it was looking like it wanted to potentially go down. Did not work out. And now look at this thing just continue to go. So getting out where I did feels good. All right, well, let's see what else I can find. And OSTK just continues to move upwards. So I'll tell you right now, that loss feels very good. I'm still curious. I think this thing wants to come back down. I just think my timing was a little bit off on it. So I'm watching 115 here. If it looks like it wants to get down there through 115, I might be interested. But I'll go ahead and pause for the time being. All right, watching 114. I got 101 shares. I wanted more than that, but I guess I'll just have to take what it was willing to give me there. So let's see if this thing can get down to at least 113. And ideally break through that. Knocking on the door. There's the break. All right, well, have 50 shares left. Very, very disappointed on this one. If you were watching the orders, you would have seen that I was going for 500 shares because I like the setup, and rightfully so. It's working out beautifully right now, but I got 101 shares. So that's how I ended up on 101. Let's see if we can get the breakdown. Actually, this is getting pretty overextended. So still have 25 shares left. So yes, quite disappointed. Very, very disappointed. And we're right back to where I was, and I get it. So look at this. Once again, 112 being that stubborn area where it's looking like it might want to bounce from. All right, all out there. So, I mean, got a winning trade on it. Should have, so let's see, I got in at 114 and I scaled out some at, yeah, so I should be back in the green, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. But 112, once again, is looking very, very interesting. So much so that if it goes back down there, yeah, 112, that's right where it bounced from again. But let's see. I'm not going to take it on this candle. I want to see this candle close green. There we go. So if it wants to work down here now, I'd be interested in taking it. But I gotta be careful with my emotions here because I am feeling that sense of frustration. Because like I said, I wanted the 500, only got 101. And I mean that could have been well over should have been well over a $500 trade had I been and had I gotten what I wanted. But so that's why I had a goofy amount, the 101, because I was going for 500, but just got that partial share. I'm kind of stalling right now. I realize I'm repeating myself, but all right, I will go ahead and pause, and we'll see if it wants to come back down to 112. All right, once again, maybe approaching 112. Knocking on the door. Okay, in at 112. I think this is going to be the time where it finally goes. So let's see if we can get some more downside pressure here. So it got the break. Now it's just a question of, can it get more continuation? No, it's going to be one of these difficult ones to get out, huh? So let's see if we can get a little bit more to the downside. Well, and now it's starting to potentially bounce back up, so I don't like to see that. Can it get, there we go. Okay, took out 200 shares, still have 100 left. So let's see if we can get the break down through 111. Wow, that fast up over 112. Well, I'm glad I took out those shares where I did then. Because now I'm losing money on the 100 shares that I still have. We'll see if it wants to come back down here, though. So again, by trying to let the position work for me, this is what happens sometimes, is the shares that you're trying to let work for you all of a sudden turn around on you. But still trying to be patient here a little bit. See if it wants to come back down and get below 112. $112.50. Okay, I'm wondering if I want to try to re-add back in another 100 shares. Well, never mind on that. Just happened way too fast. Now the bid's at 112.30. Let's see if this thing wants to roll back over. Well, I definitely feel very good that I took those profits where I did. Because yeah, right now this is getting a little, not a little, very annoying. What is that? 112.35. Let's see if we can get a move back to the downside here. What are we at? Okay, 14 minutes right now. Wow. All right, all out there. So I think I ended up losing money on that trade. I don't remember. Maybe break even. I can't remember where I was. But yeah, those last 100 shares, they ended up costing me $121. So yeah, that was a slightly losing trade. In hindsight, yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. Just taking out all the shares down there, but now mRNA's going. You know, I still like that 112. I feel like if it can get back down to 112, or at this point more so 112.30. This is just a great pattern here. It still hasn't quite violated that. All right, I'll keep a close eye on it. All right, again, watching OSTK in here at 112.40. Looking for the break finally of that 112 mark. Let's see if it can finally happen. Again, in at 112.40. And we'll see what it wants to do. I will go ahead and pause for the time being. Well, it's sitting right around that area. Just really a question of, can it get enough bearish momentum to finally just give up? And 112.40 is actually the key level of support right now. Watching the level 2s, there's a big hidden seller or buyer in there. So it's looking like if 112.40 breaks, then there's a great chance it'll at least get down to 112. So 112.40, very clear hidden buyer in there. So I'll keep an eye on it. So what I'm going to do is if 112.40 breaks, I'm going to add, I'm just going to get in. I don't really care as long as I get in before 112, because I think that'll be a sign that this thing's finally ready to go. But it's that 112.40 mark that's got to break. So I'll be watching that very closely on level 2s, and if it pops back up, it being 112.40, I'll get the video rolling again so we can see how it behaves well, it's starting to pull back here a little bit. All right, here we go. Watch. So let's watch 112.40. If that disappeared, I'm in. I think this thing finally wants to get down through 112. I think that big buyer is finally out. So let's see this thing move down to 112 and then break down through it. So 400 shares, average of 112.32. There we go. There's the break of 112. Let's see some more downside momentum. So took out 200 shares, still have 300 left. And this thing just bounces back up. This thing is just not giving me the type of flushes that I want to see. Being patient with it though. Can it get down through 111.70? I mean, it should really just be going. This is a great technical pattern breakdown. There we go. Can we get through 111.50? Yes, we can. Kind of. So out there, still have 200 shares left. You know, and after my last traumatic experience, just going to go with the 100 shares now, see if we can get the breakdown through 111. Oh, what is that low? 111.25 seems to be. There we go. So 50 shares left. I'll hang on to 50. Hey, there we go. All right. See if we can get back down there to the 110.50 mark. And then get a breakdown through it. And I'll look to try to take out some more profits down around that area. Again, want to see it, try to attempt to get down below 110.50. There we go, there's the break. Okay, 25 shares left now. And at this point, let's see if this thing wants to keep on moving. If it goes up over 111.51, I will get out. So at this point, and not a matter of, and I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm back green on the day, which is nice. But now it's just going to be, well, how green am I going to get? Because I don't know how far down this thing actually is going to want to go. If this thing breaks down below 110, excuse me, 110. Yeah, no, 110. Yeah, because this thing's so volatile. I'll move down my stop. But it's got to first break down through 110. All right, so where it sits now, close enough. So like I said, right now, I am just simply moving my stop down. So if it does break down through 110, then I'll adjust my stop loss down again. So just to reiterate, it's not a matter of if this is going to be a winning trade. It's a winning trade. The only question is how big of a winning trade is it going to be? And that's the spot that we want to be in as traders. Although looking like I might get stopped out here if it goes over 111. And all out there. So, hey, look at that. I am now green $76. And the key dynamic of that trade, what saved me, what bailed me out, not bailed me out because I was, that's the wrong word. That's a little too dramatic. I'm acting like I was down $10,000 or something. What got me to green was the level twos. And you heard me walk myself through it. Notice the big buyer. I said, you know what, if that buyer is gone, I'm adding more. They were gone, I added more, and then it behaved just like I thought it would. Now, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm not trying to say that I'm some sort of great trader. All I'm saying is level two. You got to learn level two. Level two, not a holy grail tool, not always going to be perfect, but it's definitely a tool that contains a whole lot of value. And when you combine it with the chart, then you can give yourself some good opportunities. And in this situation, it was an opportunity that took me all the way out of the red into the green. I don't even remember what I was down. I think I was down like $250 or something like that. Now I'm up 76. So what was that, like a $300 something trade? And now it's bouncing from that point. So overall though, I'll take it. Happy to be back in the green. It's 10:01, so 10:01 up $76. And really at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not a greedy savage. If you just stop and think about it, where in the world can you make in 30 minutes $75? Not that many places. And that is, again, that's been a bumpy ride too. That's not even assuming like everything went smoothly. I mean, I started off in the red and now I'm back to green. And I am going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Like I said, 10 o'clock. And as far as the video is concerned, I think this is long enough, going on almost 23 minutes here. But final few things, or just kind of recap, quick learning lesson. Learning lessons, just take the losses. Keep the risk under control. And yes, I know, well, had you held Clay, it would have went in your favor. Yes, that's true in hindsight. But had it continued to grind higher and higher and higher, I'd be looking at a 4 or 5 digit potential loss here, especially on OSTK, which can move very, very quickly. So don't play the hindsight game, but by managing risk, by taking losses, and like I said, I only made one winning trade on this, I think. Let me, this is just dawning on me right now. Yeah, that was no, that's not true. I made two winning trades, 2 losing trades. So I was only right 50% of the time, but I ultimately still was green on the day. I think that's right. No, that's... Yeah, no, that is right. Okay, yep. I've made 4 trades on it. 2 were winning, 2 were losing. Remember, the one was a losing trade because I decided to hold and try to let that 100 shares work for me, and then it went in my favor and ultimately caused it to be a losing trade. But to the counterpoint there is, but then the last trade that you just saw, I did let the position still work for me. And by hanging on to those shares, it ended up going in my favor. And I made that much more to it, to the tune of, bringing me up to $75 on the day. So manage risk, let positions work for you. And again, level twos, this, I was able to get back to green because I decided to add back in. I took notice of something. And when that quote unquote something, when that buyer was gone, that's when I, up my position size, and then things ultimately went in my favor, just like I thought it would, because that hidden buyer had finally been taken out of the game. But overall, if you enjoyed these videos, then quick ways to do that. First off, the very quick way, just hit that like button. That lets me know, hey, Clay, please keep making these videos. Second, comments, questions, suggestions, please leave those down below. Would love to hear from you. And then finally, if you enjoy this video, then I'd encourage you to check out the rest of the channel. And if you enjoy the rest of the channel, and hope you decide to hit that red subscribe button, I'd love to have you as a subscriber to the channel. So thanks for hanging out. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.